Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am Game Master Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today's video I'm going to continue my coverage of Crown and Skull RPG, going through the player's guide, custom character creation part 5. So that's what I'm going to be launching into today, is to be taking a look at if you choose not to take one of the templates and you want to create your own character, this is where we're going to be jumping right into it. So without further ado, taking a look at custom character creation for Crown and Skull. All right, I'll of course increase the size of this so that you have a chance to follow along. So Crown and Skull really shines most when using custom creation system below. Hero points are used to buy every detail. In the following pages, you'll find everything you need to build a fully custom character. If you have an idea that isn't listed, just work with the GM to add new bits. So, step 1, starting points. Everyone starts with 50 hero points to spend on their build. You'll keep track of your running point total as you work, so don't be shy with making a mess on the page. Step 2 is choosing flaws. So this is not required, but it's probably strongly suggested, I would say. Visualize your new character. What is the weakness or stress point of them? Flaws imply history and drive believable role play. And drive believable role play. Take a maximum of 2 at creation, a maximum of 4 in the character's lifetime. Each flaw adds 5 points to your point total. Flaws are entirely optional. Track your new total and move ahead. So, typical characters probably starting with 60 hero points to begin with. Core ability. Choose a core ability and deduct 15 points for its acquisition. This is one of the most useful mechanical aspects of your character, and you can only ever choose one, so choose wisely. You can also choose none here and save the 15 points for other ideas. Step 4, choosing skills. Skills are the majority of the rolls you will make in play. Just roll a d20 at or below the skill value to succeed. Sometimes a GM may place a penalty on this roll, so high skills are a welcome friend. Outfit your character with a handful of skills that fit your concept. Skills are purchased at a 1-to-1 point value, meaning a skill of 6 would cost 6 points, and so on. No skill can be higher than 18 or lower than 3. 10 skills maximum in the inventory. Remember, this system here, the characters are only able to have 10 skills at any given time and 10 pieces of equipment. And so when there's the damage system and the attrition, when you take hits, you're either losing skill abilities or you're losing equipment that you have accessible to your character. So it's a very, very unique game system. Step 5 is to buy and customize equipment. Visualize your character and spend your precious points on the equipment you need to satisfy the concept. There will be plenty of time in play to earn hero points and buy more equipment, so focus on essentials. Record damage and details for any weapons equipped. If creating a very specific idea, like a priest with a talking sword, dive into the custom equipment rules and be creative. Add a total value of armor equipped and record it in your defense. You'll roll a d20 at or under the value when attacked. Keep track of final cost and move ahead. 10 items maximum in the equipment inventory. Step 6, buy, customize, or scratch build spells. Of all the steps in the custom character creation, none is more nuanced and do it yourself than creating spells. This takes a flair of magic creativity, a good handle of effects and limitations, and your GM to make a few calls on the magic you're creating. All this odd work will be especially satisfying to the dedicated wizard player. For even more options, see Path of Magic. And I'm going to deal with that totally separate in a separate video. Acquiring and customizing a companion. Again, I will deal with that in a separate video. Choosing your lineage. There are 5 lineages to choose from. Each offers a bit of flavor for your place in the world. Finish, which means that you start cleaning up your character. So let's take a look at some of the flaws. So each of these flaws is going to give you an extra 5 hero points. You can be an addict. You can be an aesthetic. You can be ancient. You could have a bad reputation. You could be crazy. You could be disorganized. You could be a drunkard. Employed. That's a flaw. You are paid or oath sworn to a lord or employer, disobey at your own peril. All right, so now I see why that is. You have an obligation to an employer. Greedy. Tempted by treasure, roll a 6 or less on a d20 to resist the urge. Wow, so you're pretty darn tempted. You have a grudge, you're impetuous, you're injured, just a kid. I'm just a kid, never exceeds 6 skills. All right, that's interesting. You're paranoid, you have a phobia, you're pursued, you're sickly, you're stubborn, you're timid, or you're unlucky. Your core abilities. So remember, you only get to choose one of these, and they cost 15 hero points to purchase this. You could be a battle master. You have been trained as a soldier who knows how to hit hard. When you roll maximum damage, roll again. There is no limit to the number of times the dice can explode. You're a brutal fighter. You are fast, efficient, and adept at taking on multiple opponents in close quarters. All of your melee attacks may hit 2 foes with a single damage roll. Wow, that's pretty effective too. You could be a druid, an empath, go unnoticed, you blend into shadows with ease, a mountaineer, a paragon of faith. Your faith will skill grows by 2 with a successful cast and maxes at 16. Additionally, destroy D6 weak undead such as zombies, shamblers, and skeletons as an exhausting spell. Protector, a spell slinger. You cast spells with a flair and oratory. You can never use silent or still spells. As a default, though, your spells work on the target that can hear you cast. Upgrade from there as normal. All right. Not quite sure what all that means, but I'll take a look at it later. Veteran commander, when in combat encounters starts, choose one ally, inspire them with a command to fight. Their first attack does maximum damage, and they cannot be harmed for the remainder of that round. A wizard savant. Skills. So there are 12 core abilities. Skills are bought for at 1-to-1. Animal training, armorer, brawler, breakfall, climber, courtier, disguise, evade, faith, forage, gambling, hunting, investigate, jump, knowledge, languages, linguist, lock picking, magic, medical, and mining. We have muscle, oratory, pickpocket, profession, resist, repair, riding, running, sailing, scholar, scout, shield fighting, skinning, spell research, stealth, streetwise, survival, swimming, take aim, tracking, trading, and so forth. Basic equipment. So these are basic equipment items. So a backpack is going to cost you 6 points, 6 hero points to gain a backpack. However, a backpack will allow you to carry 2 additional items. So the backpack is going to count as one, but it carries 2 additional items with that backpack. You have torches, climbing gear, and this is all kind of basic standard equipment. Larger items, you can see they start costing a lot more. You're going to see that 50 hero points that you start with are going to diminish very, very fast if you start picking up a lot of really expensive gear and you try to increase the amount of your skills as well at the same time. So you're going to end up being very focused, I think, on a real clear character theme that you're looking to do. A dagger only costs 1. I'm going to spend more time here. So a long sword will cost 2 points. So I would seriously advise that you pick your weapon and your armor, and then you build your skills around it. Because some of these weapons, like if you want to go with a great axe or a great sword, a great sword is 3 points. A battle axe, I just noticed, was 5 points. All right. So they're, some of these weapons, let's see what a longbow is going to be 3 points. Now here's your armor, and your armor has a variety of skill, costs again, hero costs again. So if you want chainmail armor, it's noticed that it is noisy. It's going to give you a +3 to defense. But it's also going to cost you 3 points. You want a helmet on top of that. It's going to cost another point on top of that. It draws enemy attention. That's interesting. Again, I'll go into much more detail when we actually get into the equipment effects and such. But basic shield costs 3. So is that right? Yeah. So a wooden shield that gives you just a +1 absorbs 2 hits before attrition, but it costs 3. So imagine if you're just doing a sword is 3, chainmail is 3, and a steel shield, let's say, is 5. So you're looking at 6. You're looking at 11 points right there in very, very basic equipment. Armor and defense, I guess we're going to go into the actual skills of armor and defense. Let's just read this real quick. So using backup armor, when loading up on armor, duplicates can be carried, but only one type of body location can be worn to boost defense. Okay. Damaged and destroyed. When hit by an enemy, you can cross off a piece of armor as your attrition. Most commonly, this means the armor is damaged beyond use. Some foes with corrosive or sundering attacks will destroy armor, not just damage it. Delete the item from your inventory permanently. The armor skill, all heavy armor fighters worth their weight are trained in the repair of armor. This skill allows an armor user to self-heal with a successful skill roll, fall back, strap down, a dented bracer, and charge. And precious space. With the tightly limited inventory of your character, you'll find that there is often little room for armor, forcing the kinds of tough choices to make teamwork essential. I'm going to go into custom equipment and custom spells in a later video, but I think that this really does capture, those choices and that, the nuance in creating a custom character where you're going to have to make some very, very meaningful choices as you are spending those points up. And I have a feeling that as you're going and piecing your character together, that's where those flaws are going to come in, and you're going to say, you know what, it's well worth it to take two flaws, give myself 10 points, because that 10 points virtually covers all of some of that gear that I was mentioning already. So 10 points is enough for a regular sword, a regular shield, a small shield, and chainmail armor. That's going to cost you 9, and you still have a bonus point left over to use amongst your skills. So you know, I'm really, really enjoying this system, and just reading through it and seeing the uniqueness of Crown and Skull is just incredible. I mean, it really is surprising how someone can have these ideas that are so dramatically different than other hundreds of games that are out there. So it's really really a something that I recommend that you get if you're even just a student of role playing systems. It is an incredible read, whether you play this or not. And every time I read it and start going and learning more about it, the more I want to run this. And I can see that this is a brilliant system that I think would work really, really well in a convention-like setting, because you're going to introduce this to new players, and those players are just going to be amazed at how well this system works, and just how nuanced it is while creating characters. I would absolutely have the players create a character at the table at a convention. That is a half an hour well spent in letting them just go over the rules and piece together a character right then and there, and then launch into an adventure. So I would certainly recommend doing custom characters at the table rather than just handing out pre-gens for this. That way they get a true sense of what this system is like in character creation. So hope you enjoyed this video. I welcome you to leave your comments or questions in the comments section. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, and give it a thumbs up, share it, and again, thanks for joining, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you at a gaming screen or at a convention table sometime soon. You have a great day. Take care.